Hello, hello, hello. And welcome. Ermanau, everybody. Ermanau. That's what's up. Big day today. Big day today. Hermanau, everybody. Hermanau. All right, let's give it a few minutes and then we'll start. Rec drinks. Simply love rec. Not a paid ad, by the way. Just love rec. Big day today. Big day. We got FOMC. We got Powell's last FOMC. Big day. We got rate decision at 2 p.m. EST, and then the conference at 2:30. We will try this time to see if we can get try and see if we can watch on here along with you guys. So let's see. FOMC. I'm just trying to find it. We got a few minutes and then we'll start. Let people roll in. Let people roll in, you know. That's what's up. That is what's up.
Promote an economy that works for all Americans.
Okay. We will keep it. We'll keep this button here. So I'm curious. So can you guys, let's see.
Significantly impact financial conditions.
Can you hear that?
Including economic productivity. And
can you hear what's playing on YouTube?
And businesses. Working together, these three key Fed entities and the unique
you can hear, right? Okay, that's good. That's good.
By Congress more than a century
because then what we can do is we can watch it,
in a strong,
the live conference right here, and you guys can like listen. Perfect.
FederalReserve.gov and click on.
We don't need that right now, but that'll be at 2:30. All right. All right. Well, people rolling in. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Let's give it a few minutes. It's gonna be a big stream. So we have a hard stop at 3 p.m. So we'll still see. It goes on till 3:30, 3:45, but we're gonna do a hard stop at 3 o'clock. Okay, just FYI. Yeah, let's give it a few more minutes, and then we can lock and load, baby. We can lock and load. So let's give it a few minutes. Lock and load. Just a few more minutes. Just a few more minutes. What's up? All right, we got. Oh, questions are rolling into. Yeah, if Mando wants to come in. Oh, we got 300 people already. That's what's up, boy. That's what's up. Just acting retarded. All right. Yeah, let's get started. You know, why not? People are rolling in. They can you know, check shit out as we go. Just the two of us. Da, da, just the two of us. I see a couple of questions. I will answer them. Let me go through a couple things, and then I'll answer them. All right, let's get started. So what do we have? The big thing today. Today's big event is let me pull the dashboard up here. Pull up the newsletter. Okay. Whoop, lots of calls. Okay. Big day today. What do we have? We got interest rate decision by the Fed. That is the big event today. It is Powell's last FOMC. I put a tweet out this morning. I have watched every FOMC, whether I was on vacation, whether I was sick. My boss, when I started on Wall Street as an intern, in like 2009, 2010, like in that time, my boss said there's the singular biggest control on the market, the person is the Fed president. I didn't know anything about I knew nothing about the markets. I was just an engineering kid who did a bunch of math and had just started on Wall Street. And my boss, he was one of the biggest names at Lehman Brothers. And he was my mentor, my trading mentor. He taught me everything. And he said the biggest event that drives the markets is FOMC, and the most powerful person in the markets is Ben Bernanke. This is when Ben Bernanke was the Fed president. This is during the financial crisis. Bernanke was cutting rates, sending them to zero, buying bonds, putting in stimulus into the economy. It was huge. And, that kind of stuck with me. So he made sure every FOMC I was, he said, no matter what, you have to watch. You have to be at the 2 p.m. for the rate decision, and then you have to listen to the conference. And since 2009, I have been watching every FOMC. I started with Ben Bernanke in the 2009, 2010, 11, 12. Then it was Janet Yellen. Then I went through Janet Yellen, like everything, Greek crisis, went through taper tantrum crisis, and then right when Trump was coming on, 2018. Then we got this amazing man, Jerome Powell, in 2018. And since then, I watched everything. He has an incredible amount of credibility in the market. People will say, there's a lot of mistakes he made. And, it's tough, but I think it's the end of an era. That's for sure. We're gonna have Karsh taken over. Actually, Warsh. I forget his last name. He's gonna be taken over. He historically has been hawk, but I'm gonna assume he's gonna be dovish and cutting rates. So for people who don't know, hawk means somebody who likes increasing rates, and doves are people who like cutting rates. So hawks are more, because think about it, the Fed has a dual mandate, right? The dual mandate is controlling price stability, which is inflation, making sure inflation is low. And how do you make sure inflation is low? By hiking rates. The second mandate, and these are supposed to be equivalent mandates, is max employment, making sure that people are getting jobs, employment's good. How do you make sure you do that? You cut rates. So think about it. Eagle soars up, and so you're hiking rates, making rates go up, and doves are, they kind of swoop down. So so they cut rates. So he has historically been hawkish, but he's going to be dovish this time. So it should be, or why else would Trump put him in, right? I mean, I would assume that's the case. But yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I think will be nice. It'll be interesting to hear how Powell kind of lets go, right? So let's see. This is Powell's final bow, right? Navigating the geopolitical inflation spike. The big picture, we have the higher for longer stalemate going on. So yeah, today we have FOMC concludes the third meeting of the year. The market consensus is basically 100% locked for a pause, keeping Fed funds rate at 3.5%. Basically, no cuts, no hikes. However, this is not your standard wait and see meeting. The backdrop is quite complex, and probably one of the most complex backdrops in a decade. Right, there's a lot going on. We have geopolitical shock. There was a lot of news actually just came out a couple hours ago, which is why you can see oil just spiking like crazy. Went from $80 now at $107. There's a lot of conflict with in Middle East going on right now with obviously Iran war. Iran kind of pushed back again today on a lot of stuff. We also have we have CPI that got pushed up to 3.3%, March CPI. And then you have a big transition happening, right? This March, like I said, Powell's final meeting. His term ends May 15th. The market is going to look for clues on how much pathway he leaves for his presumed successor, Kevin Warsh, right? So that's another thing. Then you have the mandate tussle. While obviously inflation is accelerating due to supply shocks, energy, and so on, labor market has been lackluster, right? We're seeing a big break in employment out there. So Fed is basically trapped between fighting energy-led inflation because of war and then supporting a cooling jobs market. So you don't want to be in a scenario where jobs are going down and inflation is up, because then what do? Do you control inflation, or do you care for jobs, right? Do you hike rates, which will crush jobs more, or do you cut rates, which will spike inflation, but it'll help the economy? So what do we watch today? What are we going to watch today in the in today's FOMC, right? What are a couple of things to look out for? One, the statement tone. What's the tone? Look for whether the committee characterizes the recent inflation spike as transitory, which is a very sensitive word for Powell, or a structural risk that's going to require higher for longer through 2026. Will oil and energy come up in the conversation or be mentioned in the statement? Powell typically looks through energy shocks because they're short term and are usually transitory. But if he signals that high gas prices are bleeding into inflation expectations, then I expect a hawkish market reaction. You'll see the market dump on that very aggressively. What kind of forward guidance is going to be given? Markets obviously have scaled back expectations to just one rate cut right now for the year, which is probably going to be in December. Anything earlier will be a surprise. So any hint of a September cut will definitely be a surprise, dovish surprise, and we'll see the market rally up on that. So yeah, how to trade the Powell finality risk. Because this is Powell's exit, there's a risk of a legacy tone. Obviously, if he wants to go out as an inflation slayer, he may unexpectedly stay firm on inflation and be a hawk. Conversely, maybe he chooses to say as little as possible and avoid messing things up for the next chair and handcuffing them in a hawkish state. So the goal is avoid the initial 2 p.m. headline candle. The real moves will happen 2:30 p.m. post when Powell starts speaking. Key position size is small. Iran-led volatility means there's going to be a lot of stop loss hunting, a lot of aggressive market making based hunting will be going on. But yeah, that's a little bit of start. Let's take a look at a couple of markets here. What's going on? So obviously we saw stocks. Obviously, I mean, stocks are at all-time high again, which is actually insane. That we're, it's like basically all-time high, especially for war and everything. What are some positions I have going in short-term scalps? I have a Bitcoin long. We entered a Bitcoin long at 75,900. Yeah, 75,900. So yeah, basically around here. We long Bitcoin, so we're gonna have basically around these levels. We have a long on Bitcoin. We're hoping that we get a relatively dovish leaning or a non-event FOMC, so we can push higher. I'm gonna try to stop out right below here, so 75,400, 75. But make sure we don't get vicked out. I think that's the key point. What a couple other things I like. I'll tell you what I don't like. You could long Bitcoin and you could short Swiss Solana. That's been a good short. One of our analysts has been, this has been an incredible short. So our analysts, we shorted it up here at 87, and then I think they shorted again at 85. Great shorts by Daniel, one of our chief analysts, great job. People are cooking on that. I think he shorted Penguin as well for a scalp. I believe yesterday. Um, I am, yeah. I think he shorted somewhere here 1002. Yep, 1002 here. So I'm looking for. I think we're looking for kind of around here for longs on Penguin. Hopefully we don't. Or here is nice too. That was a nice wick. Not too bad. And then this is one I want to put position, but man, it's so volatile, fart coin. But when this breaks out, it's gonna break out hard. It's just gonna full send. What do I think? Okay, let's take some questions while we're here. So you guys, I told you what my trades that I have on Bitcoin's probably the main one. But okay, what else we got going on? Let's see some questions. What do you think, Solana? We'll see $120. If Bitcoin gets to 92K, yes, we will. We'll break 100, 150. Anything better than that? I don't know. I'm uncertain. Somebody had a question about ETH. I believe it was Comfy. I saw. Oh, Wizard Fam. Who's this? W Stream. Wizard Fam. Okay. Oh, what's up? What's up? I'm trying to look a little some looks maxing, right? That's what they call it. That's what the young kids call it these days. Looks maxing. Nah, eat maxing, boy. Just eat maxing. Yeah, bitch, man, boy. I don't know what that's from. Just stuck in my head. Okay, back to the question. Okay, Wizard, what's your zoomed out opinion on ETH long term? So, very good question, because you know what? Ethereum has an institutional bid, right? You have the big DATs that are just constantly buying, and you can see that on the chart. I think we'll at least push where, like, if Bitcoin gets to 92K again, I think we'll see these levels tested 3600K plus. So it's fine from that standpoint. It's not, yeah. So that's the thing, right? So this is a great question, because one of the things I preach my community a lot is, so why have we been shorting Solana and longing like other things against it, right? So one, of course, it's a hedge, and the other is because Solana is just the weakest. Like, Solana has been so weak that if the market tanks, it's gonna tank the hardest, and that's what we're about. We long strength and we short weakness. 99% of the people will short strength and long weakness, because they're like, oh, this is down so much, it has to go up, and that's where they fuck up. No, it doesn't have to go up. And you have to be aware of that, of those kind of setups. But yeah, no, Solana's been very weak. I'm not a fan at all. I am not a fan. Yeah, look at the difference between ETH and Solana. Look at that. Unreal. Crypto 101, it doesn't have to go up. It doesn't have to go up. Okay, what time? We got 7 minutes. 7 minutes to rate decision. And then we're going to have the conference over here, which is great. This will be nice to watch all together. Yo, man, we locked in, baby. Also interested in Fortcoin. Yeah, I know. I hear you. It's the thing is, if we get good news and we see good market turnaround, like Bitcoin starts pushing up, like if this becomes that Bitcoin has broken out, right? Like right now, you could say, I don't know, I'm not a big technicals guy, but you could say that we haven't got like a full breakout, possibly. So there's a lot of ways to fucking do this. So maybe it comes here and then we break out. Who knows? Maybe. But I think if we see this properly go up, like we break out clean. So I believe the level is 82K. If we hold 82K, I think that's what my let's see if there's any analysis for Bitcoin done in today's newsletter. I'm sure. This is, oh, by the way, if you're not in the newsletter, come on, it's no brainer. Uranium. Ooh. We got a breakdown in uranium. Interesting update to start the week from Yellowcake, physical uranium company. Well, we still own NXC, currently trading at 12.5. Particularly, I like the nuclear trade, and we'll add more. OKL. Alpha, baby. Look at that. All right, let's see. Daniel had yeah, he's got the short. We got some Bitcoin levels as well. Yeah, there's a lot of great breakdown here by the team on Bitcoin. Whoops. Yeah. If I was you, I would give that a read. Go to the read and on in the newsletter and give it a read off on Bitcoin. There's a good breakdown over there. Oh, this was great. Great long. So long on oil, that's cooking. Long on oil from 93, and that's up 107. Great trade. Look at that trade. Great job. So that, if you that's like in a day that thing cooked. Okay. Solana shorts. Yeah, I think he's looking for Solana short again. So that's good. Yeah, I think I agree with that. It's pretty weak. But let's get a little scalp today on Bitcoin. That'll be nice. Orthogonal bets only, baby. That's right. That's what we're about. Join weeklywisdom.com. Use the URL. When do you think 92K by? Maybe late summer. Q4 maybe. Yeah, I'd say end of Q3, Q4 possibly. How was the long and Pengu? Oh, 3 minutes to FOMC. Pengu was good. Yeah, we scalped it good, and then we're short. I think we're short right now, but there's some good scalps. Yeah, the team did a good job. No complaints. Whoops. All right, FOMC. Let's get ready here. Let me pull up my data points. 1 second. 1 second.
Nonsense. I think they should do dots every meeting. They should put it out there. We're expected to have a view on rates. They're set the cost
That's a good point.
of money.
We should have
it's
dots,
crazy that they're going
dot
to
plot
try
every
forward
meeting.
guidance. Okay, I've said
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay. We should be getting any minute now. Oh, yeah, we'll have to sign into that. Up. Da, 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 da.
Dot in an inappropriate
any
way.
minute.
And I think
3
there are
minutes.
just some things that
Let's
they can
be
do
ready.
to keep the broad guidance, but to downplay the precision of that forward guidance, perhaps by focusing on the central tendencies.
So Matt, just to weigh in, just tell us a little bit more. How's that going to change, do you anticipate? How should it change? Just show the median dot, not show the dispersion?
So I think when you look at the SEP when it was originally introduced, it did not have even the medians. It had the central tendencies and the ranges. And I think, that is probably an outcome that Kevin Warsh prefers, which is that, I think last week he noted that on inflation, he doesn't look at anything to the right of the decimal point. And so I think he wants to reduce the emphasis and the over
Come on, give us a good candle.
The Fed for
give us a good
which
candle
might be
here.
precise and can become counterproductive. And so I don't know that they lose all that much by doing away with the dot plot and a specific median that everybody focuses
Stocks
on.
are moving up.
And simply to say, look, this is
out.
where we think the direction of travel is for rates over time. We're not going to tell you exactly where we think rates are going to be, and we think people focus too much on the medians.
Come on, it'd be nice to cook on that long. It's cooking right now, the Bitcoin long. Okay. Any minute we get rate decision. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Few seconds. Come on. I mean, really, what matters at the end of the day is going to be the conference, anyways. All right, let's see. I'm gonna assume no shocks. That's like the most important thing. Yeah, rates unchanged. Nothing. Yeah, I mean that would have been insane if they did anything with rates. So, the language is gonna matter. Let's see. Let me see. Holds rate, no cut, no hike, third pause in a row. Holds rates of 3.5%, 3.75%. Yeah, that's what we that was our base case anyway. So that's good. Let's see, anything else? Let me just read through the statement really quick. Let's see if these guys are talking about anything on here.
About inflation was really pointed
really love
after
the
you
Royals,
hung
don't
out every
You
minute.
really love the Royals, don't you?
I do.
Yeah,
I thought it was really quick.
We're not talking about King Charles in this
He
program.
mentioned inflation.
This is a royal-free zone. Okay.
Sort of.
Let's turn to the price action.
Yeah.
King around the table, don't we? Okay. Decision seconds away. Equities negative by 1/10 of 1%.
Oh,
on the
this thing's
S&P
delayed.
500. Bond yields.
Okay, so a couple of things I'm looking here. So they got rid of let me get rid of that. Okay. Okay, so statement, this is what they put out. I'm just gonna read it off here, okay? Available indicators, they got rid of the word available, they changed it to recent indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace. Job gains have remained low on average, so they added on average. Interesting. Kind of sounds dovish. And the employment rate has been little unchanged in recent months. Inflation is elevated, in part reflecting the recent increase in global energy prices. So they changed it from inflation remains somewhat elevated to is elevated, and they said global energy prices. So that's not good. They're worried about that. The committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the long run. Okay, this is what they got rid of. Uncertainty about the economic outlook remains elevated. The implications of development Middle East. Okay, so they got rid of that whole statement about uncertainty, and now it is just developments in the Middle East are contributing to high level uncertainty. Okay, so they're worried about what's going on in the Middle East. Yeah, you can see the market taking a hit on that. Yep, this is exactly what it is. So Powell's worried about global uncertainty because of energy prices. So he's worried about inflation a lot. So that's hawkish. So that's not great. That's not great. And that's why you're seeing this dump right here. Yeah, no, this is not good. The statement's not great. Not what I would. Oh, is my voice messed up? Someone's saying. Hello? Is it better now? Oh, it's good? Okay. But yeah, that's what's going on. We've seen the market dump on that news. That's really all there is to it. Market's taking it as hawkish because it is hawkish. That was a very hawkish statement. So now we have to see. He's going to have to expand on that statement of global uncertainty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my positions. I don't want to take risk. Yeah, it's a little bit in profit. I'm just going to close out. Don't want to take a chance. If Pablo comes out, his last fuck you to Trump or something. Not that he's not that kind of guy, but big pullback. Yeah, really, it's just see how powerful the FOMC is. That one line has just tanked the market. Not tanked, but it's full back. This was the line. It was getting rid of this line from last time, which was uncertainty about the economic outlook remains elevated. The implications of developments in the Middle East has been completely removed, and now it's developments in the Middle East are contributing to a high level of uncertainty about the economy, about the economic outlook. The committee is attentive to risk to the risk to both sides of the dual mandate. The dual mandate, which is price stability, and I did I close BTC? Yes, I flattened out. Flattened my position for now. We'll see what Powell says. So we got 30 minutes. We got 25 minutes till Powell comes on. So we can just have a little fun in the meantime. Do I see 73K? I don't see it, but I have a bid at 72.8 and 74.8. No, that was just we're just thinking out loud. I don't know. That's really in the back burner, not something we're thinking about at all right now. But while we wait, we can do a little lamb chop. Why not? Since we gotta wait a little bit, we have 25 minutes. 25 minutes to kill. So let me see. I think Farouk said he wanted to join the gambling part. Give me 1 second. He's probably busy. All right, let's play a little bit, give some money away. So we have 20 minutes till Powell starts speaking. We'll just kill some time here. What do I think of the new Fed chair? Honestly, it's tough to tell, right? Like, especially right now, like it's very challenging because historically, so I'll tell you, I've been through, like I said earlier, I've been through started watching FOMC, got into the markets 2008, 2009. So I've been watching every FOMC since 2009. Gone through Ben Bernanke, Yellen, Powell, and I've studied, back in the day, the other Fed presidents as well, just as a research perspective. But one of the most, couple of interesting things. Kevin Warsh has historically been a hawk, right? Kevin Warsh has historically been somebody who's like, we need to fight inflation. We need to keep rates higher longer. We shouldn't have low rates. But at the same time, Trump is putting him in. Trump wants lower rates. So the question really becomes, is he going to stick to his thesis that he's had all his life? Or is he going to do whatever Trump says? Now, there's some connection of him. His wife's dad is like best friends, one of the biggest donors of Trump. Very close family. So it's tough. It's going to be interesting to figure out what happens with Kevin Warsh. And the biggest problem with that is Fed credibility. One of the most important things the market looks for is Fed credibility. Is that if the Fed says they're going to do something, they're going to stick to it, right? So we can't have a situation where if Kevin Warsh comes out and he's like, hey, I'm going to hike rates, but then he gets pressure from Trump and he cuts rates. And then I think the market will just tank because it'll be like, okay, Fed has no credibility. This is what happened in 2018. It's called the taper tantrum. If you look up, it was Janet Yellen was the Fed governor at the time, and she was hiking, cutting high. Like there was no solid, like, she thought like, oh, the market can take higher rates. We've had low rates since 2009. So she hiked rates, and then market just tanked. And so, oh shit, I'm gonna cut rates. So if you don't stick to your guns, if you don't have Fed, build your Fed credibility, you will be fucked. Yeah. Look at this Bitcoin dumping. I mean, I'm glad we closed our position, right? I mean, this is what it's about. This is why we have. Look at that. We read that one line. That one line just tanked the market. This is why you have to be tapped into FOMC. You have to be tapped into the markets, because the moment I read that, I was like, yeah, we got to stop out, of course. And boom, That's how it is. One line just crashed the market. Exactly. Good tweet out on that. We should have shorted. The moment we saw that line, we should have shorted right away. Damn it. At least we closed the long, but what the smart decision would have been to short right away. That's where we fucked up. So much power. One line. Power doesn't even come on yet. But one line in the statement just crashed the market. Amazing. Amazing. Even after, God knows how many years of doing this, it's always unreal to still watch this happen in real time. Okay, let's see. I think what would be the best situation here is that Powell comes and he's like, okay, it's transitory. Don't go that much off the statement, and makes it like something like that. Let's see where oil is. Did oil spike more? No, oil has been spiking, but it's gonna be interesting. Oh, did our bid 74.8? Did it get hit? Oh, it got to 74.882. Are you kidding me? Okay, we have a 74.8 bid in weekly wisdom. And then we have a lower bid as well. But let's see. We were $82 off on Bitcoin from getting hit. Okay, 74.8. If we get it again, we'll try and long that. If not 73, 74K, yeah. Yeah, if he says that this all the energy stuff is transitory, yeah. So if he says Middle East stuff, all that's transitory, then we'll pump. Yeah, 100%. But I don't know. I don't know if he'll say that anymore, to be honest. To be fair. We got 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Need some water. Need some H2O. All right, let's yeet it while we wait for Powell to come on. Man, I kind of want to just scalp it a little bit here. Just a little scalp long. I don't know. This energy is going up, so maybe not the best, but let's see. Yeah, some good buys came in. That's interesting. Okay, we'll just do a little Imagine. Oh, you can't see. Wait. My bad. Okay, my bad. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Ah! Jump. Oh. Ooh, what's going on with Pengu? A Pengu alert just come on to long Pengu. Oh my god, look at that turn on Penguin. Holy shit. Damn, was that a fake out? Damn. Holy shit, look at that bid on Pengu. Unreal. Wow. It's sending. Pengu, baby, Pengu. Okay, we got 15 minutes, and then we'll start. Pablo's gonna jump on. Oh my God! Look at Pengu, green, fucking green candle. I can't believe that. That's actually wild. Love to see it. Outperformance in a bad market. That's where it's at. You know what I should do? Here, I'm gonna do something cool. Okay, I'm gonna pick somebody in this stream. Here, just drop your. Okay, who's Wizard Fam? Do you have a? Okay, Rahi, 1529. Okay, I'm gonna give you 100. I'm gonna give you a choice. Okay. I'm gonna give you a choice. $100. I can give you $100 right now, or I'll give you whatever you want me to go till. So whatever it gets to, I'll give you that. But if you lose, you lose. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So okay, Ryle. So you tell me how far you want to go, or you just want $100 right now. Oh, he wants the $100. Okay. You don't want to make it. You don't want to run it. Okay. I'll give it to you. You could have just run it. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna run it and let's see what you would have made. Okay? So I'm just gonna run it and we'll see what you would have made. Okay. So let's see what he would have made if he had risked it. Oh. Oh! So you would have made, if you had kept going, if you had listened to me, you would have made at least $260 right now. So you gotta risk it for the biscuit, baby. But all right, maybe $100 is a lot. That's all right. That's okay. I understand. Should we keep going? Just barn it. Imagine it was the barn. All right, so you would have made like $300 probably. All right, let's see. We got Manny. Okay, you want to risk it? How far you want to go, Manny? Do you want to go till the tracks or till here? How far you want to go, Manny? Oh, you want to go for the barn? Fort. He said fort. Okay. So Manny said fort. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So $150. Okay. What can I see? Okay. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Do you want to cash out $150? Or you want to go more? What do you want to do? What do you want to do, Manny? Cash out. Okay, Manny wants to cash out. Okay, Manny, we're going to cash you out. All right. You wouldn't have made it too much further, but... All right, Manny, what was your code? What's your code, Manny? Oh, here we go. Yeah, all right. I'll give you the $150. Okay. Manny 07. Okay, it was $150. I think that's right. All right, let's see who else. All right. What's yours? What do you want to do? You want to run the $100, or you want to send it? Okay. How many steps you want to go? Like all the way? You want to barn it? Okay. 3 steps. Okay. He said 3 steps. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What do you want to do? We got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes till FOM's Powell comes on. Let's look at the market real quick. Ooh, I wonder if this is gonna just complete reversal would be so funny. Still amazing. Oh, you want to cash out? Oh, he wants to cash out. Oh, okay. Okay, comrade. What was his thing? All right, he wants to cash out. All right. It is. How much did he make? 133, I think he did. I forget what it was. I think it was 133. 133. Okay. How many minutes left? We have 9 minutes left. 9 minutes left for FOMC. 9 minutes. Markets, you know, ooh, seeing a little push up here. We're seeing a little push up, baby. Okay, no lie. I just market bought Bitcoin in this dump, but I don't feel too great about it. I just did it. I just did it. I just did it. Fuck is wrong with me? Okay. All right. Let's do. We could probably do one more. I know. I hope Pablo doesn't do that. All right. Let's go. HP1. Okay. He wants to go to the track. All right. 1, 2. Oh! 2. Whoa! 2 times. Track. Come on. Give him track. 3 times. What? Give him track. Okay. Okay. We made it to the track, buddy. Now what? Now what? Oh my god, this was insane. Do you want to cash out? $260? I had HP1. What do we think? What do we think, baby? Bro, 3 times you got saved. Holy shit. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Playboy? Are you done? Cash out? Take the free. Yeah, sub to the newsletter and you got some cash. $260. Up to you, man. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to cash out? What do you want to do? Cash out? Yes, he's saying cash out. Okay, he wants to cash out. Hey, this is his call. It's his call. Okay? Okay. I'm going to cash you out $260, but I want to go because I just want to see what happens. Okay? But you're good. $260, you're good, okay? 260. Oh! This is a barn run, right? This has got to be a barn run. Oh! Oh! Let's go, baby! Max win! Another Max win! Let's go! What the fuck? It's the best $2,000 I ever won. Oh my god! I got you. I'll give you 260 is what you had. Holy shit! What a barn run! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, we got 6 minutes. 6 minutes left till FOMC. I sent it to whatever one the name you gave. All right. What was your thing, HP1? What was your thing? What was your username? What's your username, bruh? So I can send you your money. 260 bucks. HP1. HP1. HP1, what was your username? All right, I got you, Genwell. All right. Bro, HP1, what was your username? I can give you your 260 bucks. Okay, Genwell. How far you want to go? How far? Yes. All right. Let's go to 6. All right, Genwell. Genwell wants to go to 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Cash out? Cash out. Okay, he's saying cash out. Okay, I'll go 2 more. So I'll cash you out $194. $194. Oh, you want cash out? Okay, he wants to cash out. Okay. What was your username? Gotta start saving these. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go. That's good. That's a nice 200 bucks. $194. Okay, I'm gonna go 2 more. Ooh. It can't go back to back, can it? Can it? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Oh, that's okay. Can you imagine? So you could have made 800, 600, 700 bucks. That's okay. Okay, let me tip you out. Okay, it's almost time. 3 minutes. Okay, that's it. We're done for today. We gotta get FOMC. We gotta lock in. Gen, I think that this it was what 194. Okay. No, we gotta do FOMC, boys. Come on, that's what we're here for. Okay, Powell starts in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Powell. This is a FOMC stream, guys. It's not a gambling stream, but okay. I love everyone's having fun. The big. Oh wow, we got a lot of people. All right, we got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Market dumping again. Dumpy. Oh, that's nice. Very cool. Use my code, Wizard of Soho. All right, 2 minutes. Come on. What tie is he gonna wear? He's gonna wear a purple tie, orange tie, Bitcoin to 100K today, 100%. Purple. I say purple. If he wears red, probably see 10K Bitcoin by the end of the stream. Just kidding. Red is game over. Blue. Purple. It's gonna be purple. It's gonna be purple, baby. Red tie? He's supposed to come on. Why is he not coming on? Come on, Paolo. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know if they have it on Polymarket, the tie. Let's see. If it's a green tie, full send, max long. Come on, where is he? Where is he? Stop teasing, my boy. Stop teasing me, boy. Bitch, me, boy. Damn, we got 1,700 people watching. Holy shit. Here we go. Purple tie.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. The U.S. economy has been expanding at a solid pace. While job gains have remained low, the unemployment rate has been little changed in recent months. Inflation has moved up and is elevated, in part reflecting the recent increase in global energy prices. Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy rate unchanged. We see the current stance of monetary policy as appropriate to promote progress toward our maximum employment and 2% inflation goals. Developments in the Middle East are contributing to a high level of uncertainty about the economic outlook, and we will remain attentive to risks to both sides of our dual mandate.
No
I'll
cuts.
have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace. Consumer spending has been resilient, and business fixed investment has continued to expand at a brisk pace. In contrast, activity in the housing sector has remained weak. In the labor market, the unemployment rate was 4.3% in March and has changed little in recent months. Job gains have remained low. A good part of the slowing in the pace of the job growth over the past year reflects a decline in the growth of the labor force due to lower immigration and labor force participation, though labor demand has clearly softened as well. Other indicators, including job openings, layoffs, hiring, and nominal wage growth, generally show little change in recent months. Inflation has moved up recently and is elevated relative to our 2% longer run goal. Estimates based on the Consumer Price Index and other data indicate that total PCE prices rose 3.5%
Elevated
over the 12 months ending in March, boosted by the significant rise in global oil prices that has resulted from the conflict in the Middle East. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 3.2% over the 12 months ending in March. This relatively high rate largely reflects the effects of tariffs on prices in the goods sector. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have risen this year, likely because of the substantial rise in oil prices. Most measures of longer-term expectations remain consistent with our 2% inflation goal. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. At today's meeting, the committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 3.5% to 3.75%. The economic outlook remains highly uncertain, and the conflict in the Middle East has added to this uncertainty. In the near term, higher energy prices will push up overall inflation. Beyond that, the scope and duration of potential effects on the economy remain unclear, as does the future course of the conflict itself. We will continue to monitor the risks to both sides of our dual mandate. We are well positioned to determine the extent and timing of additional adjustments to our policy rate based on the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. Monetary policy is not on a preset course, and we will make our decisions on a meeting-by-meeting basis. This is my last press conference as chair, and I will close with a few thoughts. First, I want to congratulate Kevin Warsh on his advancement out of the Senate Banking Committee this morning. This is an important step forward, and I wish him
Market
well
likes
as
it.
the
Market
process
likes it.
Continues.
Market likes it. Green candles. Let's go,
The
baby.
Federal Reserve
Let's go.
exists for one
Power
fundamental
pump, baby.
purpose,
Power
to
pump.
foster the economic conditions in
Give it
which
to me.
American families and businesses can thrive. Stable prices, a strong job market, and a financial system they can depend on. Every decision we make, whether about interest rates or regulatory and supervisory matters or other issues, is made in service of that purpose.
Paul's going to give us a gift.
Our
The
decisions
power pump.
reflect the collective judgment of the Board of Governors and the Federal Open Market Committee, colleagues who demonstrate analytical rigor, principled judgment, and a genuine commitment to the public interest.
Let's
Our
go, baby. Let's
collaborative
go.
and deliberative process has long reflected a shared commitment to finding common ground in service to our mission. This institution is resilient,
Oh, so
capable,
short.
and staffed by professionals of extraordinary talent and exceptional dedication. It has been a privilege to serve alongside so many great
Man, kind of
public
sad.
servants at the Board
Little
of Governors
sad.
and around the Federal Reserve System. The Fed's work is only as effective as the public's understanding of it, and you, the press, are essential to keeping the public informed about what we do and why. The people we serve benefit from your careful reporting. I welcomed the announcement last Friday by the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia that she had closed the criminal investigation. She also noted, however, that she would not hesitate to restart the investigation. Over the weekend, the Department of Justice provided assurances that they will not reopen the investigation unless there's a criminal referral from the Fed's Inspector General. And, absent such a referral, if they do appeal the recent court decision, they would not seek, as part of that appeal, to restart the investigation or send new subpoenas. I've said that I will not leave the board until this investigation is well and truly over with transparency and finality, and I stand by that. I'm encouraged by recent developments, and I'm watching the remaining steps in this process carefully. My decisions on these matters will continue to be guided entirely by what I believe is in the best interest of the institution and the people we serve. After my term as chair ends on May 15, I will continue to serve as a governor for a period of time to be determined. I plan to keep a low profile as a governor. There's only ever one chair of the Federal Reserve Board. When Kevin Warsh is confirmed and sworn in, he will be that chair. Once sworn in as board chair, his new colleagues will elect him to chair the Fomc as well. As I regularly point out from this podium, our success in delivering our goals matters for all Americans. I'm confident that the Fed will continue to do its work with objectivity, integrity, and a deep commitment to serve the
Trump
American
wants
people.
Kevin Warsh to come in. That's all.
Thank you, and I look forward to your
The
questions.
president gets to have a new. Here we go. Q&A. Might see some fireworks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate the kind words about the press. Often doesn't come from the podium.
Just remember, I have-
Appreciate that.
I'm muted?
Can you talk about what is
I'm not
gone
muted.
into your decision to remain on the board? What kind of criteria are you weighing, and how long might you stay? Thank you.
Sure. So, my concern is really about the series of legal attacks on the Fed, which threaten our ability to conduct monetary policy without considering political factors. And I want to note here, this has nothing whatever to do with verbal criticism by elected officials. I've never suggested
Oh, okay.
that such verbal criticism is
Not
a problem,
muted.
and neither has anyone else here. But these legal actions by the administration are unprecedented
Oh, I
in
was
our
muted, okay.
113-year history, and there are ongoing threats of additional such actions.
Got it,
I
okay.
worry that these attacks are battering the institution and putting at risk the
Who
thing
is
that
this
really
guy in
matters to
chat?
the public, which is the ability to conduct monetary policy without taking into consideration.
What was your
factors.
username?
It is so
Only
important
one who
for
didn't
our
get paid was
economy, for the people that
HP1
we
because he
serve,
didn't give me his
that they can
username.
depend over time on a central bank that operates that way, free of political influence. It's part of the absolute foundation of this amazing economy that we have. It's just one of the many reasons why the U.S. economy is the envy of the world. That piece
Let's go,
of
Paulo.
institutional architecture separates successful countries from
Come on, give us a
unsuccessful
nice
countries.
bring a
It
green
is
candle all
extremely
the way up.
important, not for the people who work
All
at the
the
Fed
way
at a
up,
given
baby.
time, but for the people that we serve.
All
that
the
the Fed
way
remain able
up.
to
Come
conduct
on.
monetary policy in a way that doesn't get pulled into politics, trying to help or hurt any particular politician or political party. It's critical for the people that we serve.
Yeah, that's not you.
would
You're
leave-
trying to
I would
scam.
leave when I think it's appropriate to do so.
HP1 is the one
Was
who
that part of your
won,
question, Mr.
not
I
the.
just have a follow-up, which is, what would you say to the criticism?
That's
that
not the guy who
by
won.
remaining on the board, you're actually taking a political act and denying
This guy's a
President
scammer or
Trump
something.
the majority
Ignore
of the
him.
board, which as president he would have if you left.
I don't see that.
Let's
at all.
focus.
And
Focus on
as I
the
mentioned, I'm literally staying because of the actions that have been taken. I had long planned to be retiring, and the things that have happened in the last 3 months have I think left me no choice but to stay until I see them through at least that long. In addition, I don't see how this will interfere. My intention is not to interfere. I was a governor for almost 6 years, and the tradition is at the Fed that governors who understand how difficult the role of chair is, and as a soon-to-be former chair, I do understand how hard it is to get consensus with 19 strong-minded people. You work with the chair. You try to be heard, but also collaborate with the chair and try to support the chair when you can. When you can't, you can't.
What do you mean
And I think
market's
that's the attitude
tanking?
that people generally take, and that's the
You were
attitude
seeing
that I'll
green
take.
candles, no?
Nick.
It's not tanking. It's a 15-minute chart.
Chair Powell, if I could ask about the inflation outlook. In March, you described the standard practice of looking through energy shocks as conditional on inflation expectations staying anchored. Since that meeting, there has been very little progress reopening key energy trade corridors. Can you help us understand how the inflation outlook has changed in the intermeeting period, beginning with the prospects for tariff pass-through resolving on the timeline that you had outlined in March, before getting to the energy shock that is now on top?
So, I would look at it this way. For a long time, we've been working on the hypothesis, really, that tariffs would lead to a one-time price increase and that would go away over time. In other words, that there would be no further change. So measured inflation wouldn't reflect that higher level going up more and more. And it's time for that to happen. We really do expect that to be happening in the next 2 quarters. So we'll be watching very carefully to see that what we've thought all along would happen. That's the kind of critical part of the forecast. We need to really see that. With energy, it's so hard to say. I mentioned, in sort of the textbook, you would look through an oil shock because they tend to be short-lived and they tend to revert, and monetary policy works with longer lags. So you wouldn't necessarily react right away. I think that is all the more true given that we're several years above 2% inflation and that we're already looking through the tariff shock. So I think we're going to be very cautious about that. But the question about looking through energy really is not in front of us right now. It hasn't even peaked yet. And I think we'd want to see the backside of that and progress on tariffs before we even thought about reducing rates.
So if I could follow up, the statement today preserves language that has taken on some meaning as it was socialized when the committee was actively lowering rates. Why is that easing bias still ripe, given how different the inflation outlook is now versus a meeting or two ago? And what more would have to happen for it to get evicted?
So that was, as you will recall, we had a discussion about that at the last meeting, and we talked about it in the press conference after the March meeting. We had the same today. We had quite a vigorous discussion about that very issue and the guidance, and is it still appropriate, and that kind of thing. And I would say that the number of people on the committee who either could support that language changing to a more neutral stance, so that a hike is as likely as a cut. That number has increased over the intermeeting period, and it's easy to see why. I mean, it's it's a good question, right? You see inflation has moved up over the interim a bit. Core inflation's 3.2 now, moving, albeit just a little bit, in the wrong direction. And we know that there will be, that there's headline inflation coming out of the Gulf, and we don't know how much that will be.
He's worried about
We just
inflation a
know
lot.
We're going to need to see.
Keeps
So
talking about
I
inflation,
think it makes all
inflation,
the sense in the world
inflation.
that people would look at that and we'd have a vigorous discussion about that. You saw that
Wow.
3 people dissented over the language. I think
Yeah,
all
he's
of
talking
those
about
people agree
inflation.
with the
He's
way
worried
the
about
decision.
inflation.
So
Marcus
the
gonna
majority of the
not like
committee
that.
did
Yep,
not
see that?
do
Red
that,
candles.
and I didn't
Yeah.
think we needed to do it at this meeting. It
Come
really was
on,
just a question of,
Powell. How are you
why
gonna do that
wouldn't
to
we do
us?
that now? We have so much to learn. There's so much uncertainty about the path ahead. There doesn't need to be any rush to make that decision now, because what happens in the next 30, 60 days, even by the next meeting, could really change the picture around that language. So it's a much closer thing on the committee than it was in March.
What about my
And that
bags,
makes all the sense in
bro?
the world, it seems to me.
Oh, okay. Now they like it. Not. He started tough, but then he's.
Financial Times.
It's amazing how the market
just
keeps.
going back to
Every word he
this
says
issue
is
of
red. Okay,
the
bad.
easing
Dump
bias,
it. Oh no,
we've
never
got
mind.
oil
Pump
approaching
it. Like
$120 a
the
barrel when it
power
comes to the
in his
benchmark.
words is unreal.
Brent crude. If it stays around those levels 6 weeks from now, what would be your best guess as to whether the easing bias will still be in the statement? Thank you.
I wouldn't want to guess.
Stupid
first of all, we're
question
gonna
is
have
that?
new leadership and all.
Is she
likelihood by
short?
then,
She's short the
and
market.
new leadership's going to have a very
Check her
big
hard
role to play
drive.
in that. So I won't
Shut
be
my
standing here
face,
to
man.
say-
Shut my
podium to
face.
answer your question. So I don't know. As I
Stupid
mentioned,
question
that's all
was
I can
that.
really say is that we
Trying
had,
to
we had a
dump my
great
bags,
discussion
bro?
about that today. It's gotten to be a better question in the interim period. We had the discussion. The majority are still on the page of not feeling the need to move to that level, and I that's where I am. I get it though. At a certain point you would move, and that conceivably could come as soon as the next meeting.
Thank you. Just to follow up.
Got into an
The new
accident.
leadership also seemed rather lukewarm on press
Long story.
conferences and on the dot plots. What would your advice to him be on these communication tools?
So I'm not going to give him any advice through you today here, but I think communications generally is. I think every incoming chair takes a look at communications, and it's a very healthy thing. I mean, communications it's very complex, and you can always be looking at new things.
Pumping! Pango
if that happens,
pumping!
it feels like it's gonna happen,
Pango
it's a completely appropriate thing.
pumping! The power pump is here.
Chair Powell, Neil Owen with Axios. Can you tell us
Look
if
at
you've
that.
been in touch with incoming
Pango!
to what extent
Pango!
is this a normal transition process versus all the things
Go
swirling
pump it,
around,
baby, pump
something
it.
unusual, and what can
Pump
we expect
it.
when he takes that
Pump
podium
it.
in a few weeks?
I haven't seen him since seeing him
Pump
at a
it,
dinner.
baby, one more time.
Chat with him. Haven't seen him. I don't know what a normal process is. The last process was with Janet Yellen, with whom I had worked for 6 years, and so it was. We were sitting down the hall from each other, so it was a very different thing. I think this is and will be a very normal, standard kind of a transition process. So that's what I expect. I have every reason to think it will be.
Quick follow-up: is the Supreme Court ruling on Governor Cook a factor in when you may leave as a governor?
I wasn't thinking of it as such, but no, not really. I mean, I'm thinking more of the other things I mentioned.
Chris.
Hi, thanks for taking our question. I wanted to ask a question about your tenure, and Chris Rugaber at Associated
Yeah,
Press.
baby.
During your tenure as chair, you often spoke about how disadvantaged Americans benefited from extended periods of low unemployment. In the new framework the Fed adopted in 2020, some economists say elevated the Fed's employment mandate. Are you worried that the pandemic inflation spike that followed will make future Fed chairs more reluctant to pursue a hot jobs market? And should they be?
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, what we experienced in the teens, the mid-teens, was really low levels of unemployment for a long period of time and no reaction from inflation. And we all very much took notice of that. We also noticed that the biggest wage gains were going to people at the bottom end of the income spectrum. And we had many, many reports of mean, it felt like a fairly stable equilibrium, and a lot of benefits were flowing to people at the bottom end of the income spectrum, including companies were, setting up in people who were confined and like training them before they got out, and it was a very healthy sort of set of societal dynamics. So of course, I think anybody would love to get back to that. I don't think that anything that happened to create the global pandemic inflation was in any way related to overweighting the employment market. I mean, it was a global shock that happened essentially very, very similarly all over the world. It had to do with closing, reopening, stimulus, and all that. And I mean, you could look at a graph of 10 big economies on the page and not know which was the U.S. and which was Germany, France, and things like that. So I don't think that insight was in any way responsible for the high inflation that we experienced. So, I mean, I think it's always been a balance. You've got to be strong on both of our dual mandates, and we for example, now we don't feel that the labor market is at all a source of inflation, so we don't need to be worrying about that. It's been a long time since we have had to worry about that. Well, actually, during the pandemic recovery, the labor market was super overheated and tight, and that's when we had to worry about it, but not now.
Just on the other issue, do you need more assurance from the Justice Department before stepping down? Is that what you're waiting for, or what else?
I'm waiting, for the investigation to be well and truly over with finality and transparency, and I'm waiting for that, and I will leave when I think it's appropriate to do so.
Pump it, baby, pump it. All right, I have 5 minutes, and then I gotta head out. Got a hard stop.
If you could explain a little more or characterize a little more the discussion about the two-sided view and interest rates, because there were some members of the Open Market Committee who've been suggesting that we may need to raise interest rates even absent the war because inflation was not coming down fast enough.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Is there any sense that interest rates might have to go up, or
bro, why would you ask a stupid question like that? Oh my god!
Worried about the
my god!
So nobody, the three dissenters and others who could have supported that, and others who were voters and non-voters who preferred it, they all supported the rate decision, right? So people are not saying we need to hike now. It's more a question of, don't we kind of feel that we should be neutral, and what are markets doing? People argue that this is consistent with markets are doing. And again, it's a very fair question, but these changes it's a form of forward guidance.
Oh my god!
You don't want to make them.
Why ask this question,
in a way that will
like that guy is short.
Makes sense and not something you need to take back.
So silly.
Fairly quickly. So
silly boy.
I think we just a group of us, including me, didn't feel like we needed to be in a hurry on that markets are not confused about our reaction function. We don't have a problem to solve on that. But the other side of the argument is a good argument too, as I mentioned. It's a perfectly good argument to be having, good discussion to be having. So
Bitcoin's pumping.
The way it came out.
Well, you've got 3 dissents in favor of two-sided warning. You've got
bro, shut up.
You've got the
why are you asking these
come from elected officials?
Why are you not hiking, bro? Why are you not hiking?
Critics who have
shut
faulted
the
the
fuck
Fed
up,
for
man.
being too slow.
Don't fuck my bags up, bro.
Inflation. Are you worried about Fed credibility under all of this? Is that one reason that you want to stay on?
Not driving my thinking now. I mean, monetary policy is going to get made by 19 people. There's a lot of stability there. I mean, if you think about it, every new Fed chair has the same situation, which is you've got 18 colleagues on the Fomc, 11 of them vote during any year, and your job is to create consensus. It's to talk to them, understand them, be inside their thinking, and be able to pull them together and get consensus and move. And that's what every Fed chair has to do. And I think Kevin Warsh
pump it
quite well. He has the capabilities.
Glaze him up, baby.
To be very good.
Glaze up the Warshy boy.
So I think
I'm cut him rates.
That process,
cut him.
I think that'll work.
Cut him. Oh, come on. Come on, pump
Howard
it.
Schneider with Reuters. You mentioned
Pump
that,
it, baby, pump
staying
it.
on as a governor, you intend to keep a low profile.
Pump it,
I'm just
yar.
wondering if you could give us a
I
little
just
detail of
pump it,
what
yeah.
that
Just
looks like
pump
and
it.
how you can. Touche.
Touche.
What that, walk down the steps. What that looks like, and particularly around the policy discussion, how you're able to have your intervention and not be a shadow chair and not have a kind of an outsized influence over the process.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
just
just something
bump
I would
it.
never do. The shadow chair thing. No, I don't know what the exact specifics of it will be, but I'm going back to being a governor. I respect the role of chair. I was a chair. I was a governor for 6 years, and I know what that's like. I know it, and I had a pretty front row seat particularly with Chair Yellen, to whom I was close when I worked with Chairman Bernanke for 2 years, but I was brand new at that time, so I got a sense of what it was, and I had real sympathy for how hard it is to get that group to consensus. And I always felt like I don't want to add to that unnecessarily, and that means try to support the chairs where the direction the chair wants to go in, if you can. If you can't, you can't. And I think that's the way it's always worked there, because the chair only has one vote, plus the ability to develop consensus. And if people won't be, they won't, if they're not flexible at all, then how do you ever do that? And so that's why the chair has the authority. The chair has really.
I think we're mostly done with the hard hitting questions. All right. On that note, I gotta close out.
Consensus.
I'm
I'm
probably gonna stream later today or tomorrow. We'll do a Yeet stream and recap the markets as well. But for now, we're out. 2,200 people. Thanks for joining. Make sure you guys on Weekly Wisdom subscribe. It's a no-brainer. Trust me on this one. It's a no-brainer. Weeklywisdom.com. Go subscribe. I'll be in the chat. See you there. Cheers, guys.
And